is Gerline. I am an artist and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how I make this beautiful Valentine's Day card with a heart pop-up using my Cricut. So these are the materials I'll be using. I use glossy photo paper for the cover, cardstock paper, double-sided foam tape, a glue stick, a scraper tool, a printer to print my cover, a PNG file, and of course my Cricut. Most of the material I'll be using will be linked down below. So I'm going to be starting off using Cricut Design Space. So the first thing I'm doing is I am uploading my image. Once I select my image, I click Flat Graphic. And here I'm adding a name. This image is from one of my paintings called Cherished. I had removed the background. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is crop my image into a 5x7" proportion. So I'm going to head over to shapes and I'm going to select the square. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to resize that square to 5x7". Next, I'm going to lock my proportions. So now I'm going to begin my cropping process. First thing I have to do is bring my image to the front. So I'm going to select the rectangle, then I go to edit and then arrange, and I'm going to send it backwards. Now I'm just positioning what parts I want to crop out. I'm going to select both the rectangle and my image, select edit, and then slice. As you can see, my image is cropped. Okay, so I don't need this rectangle anymore, so I'm just going to select all of my layers minus my image, and then I'm going to delete them. Next, I'm going to go to edit and then offset, and as you can see, these pink lines appear. That is going to be my background. It's up to you how thick you want your outline to be. You can drag it left and right to resize. Once you're at a thickness that you want, you just select done. So the next thing I'm going to do is change the color of my outline. This is optional. This just helps me tell my card pieces apart. So while I have my outline selected, I'm going to go to the color options and select red. The next thing I'm going to do is resize my image. While I have both layers selected, I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to change the size to the standard 5x7" greeting card. Mine's isn't exactly 5x7", but it's pretty close. So the next thing I'm going to do is make the other half of my card. So I'm going to select my background and duplicate the layer. And I'm going to flip one of the layers horizontally. So the next thing I'm going to do is align them evenly together. Next, I'm going to select both shapes. Next, I'm going to select combine under my action settings and I'm going to click weld. And as you can see, that combined both of my shapes. So now I'm going to select done. I want to get rid of these opening parts. So I'm going to go to shape, select square, and then I'm going to resize that square. I'm going to unlock the proportions and I'm going to change the height to match the height of my card. Next, I'm going to select both layers. I'm going to go to actions, combine, and then weld. Next, I'm going to make the inside piece to my card by going to offset, and this time instead of dragging outwards, I'm going to drag inwards. Then I'm going to click done, and as you can see, I have an inside piece to the card. I'm going to change the color to that to white. Next, I'm going to do my heart pop-ups. I'm going to go to shapes and I'm going to select a heart. Next, I'm going to duplicate my heart 2 more times. So as you can see, I have my 3 hearts here. So next thing I'm going to do is arrange them, and I'm going to tilt the outer hearts as you can see here. And then I'm just going to change the color to white. Next, I'm going to select my hearts, and then I'm going to go to edit and then offset to make the background. And then I'm going to change the color of that layer to red. So I'm going to duplicate my hearts. This is optional. I only do this just because I make multiple cards for my online shop, but it's totally up to you. Now it's time to cut our card. I'm going to click make it. First thing is the cover. Because I have an inkjet printer, it's pretty slow, so I'm going to send this to printer, and while it's printing, I'm going to work on the cardstock paper. So here I am adding the first cardstock sheet to my mat. Next, I'm going to load the mat onto my Cricut, and I'm going to head back over to Design Space, and I'm going to select the cut settings to heavy cardstock, and then you're going to see a flashing light on the Cricut logo. That means it's ready to cut. Now that I click the button, the Cricut is now cutting my cardstock. Now it's time to remove the pieces from my mat. One important tip I have, as you're removing the paper from your mat, you want to bend your mat instead of the paper so that it stays flat. Now I am doing the inner part of my card. And once again, I'm heading back to Cricut Design Space, and I'm selecting the same cut settings since they are all the same thickness, and I'm just repeating the process. And now I am cutting my red cardstock pieces, and I'm just repeating the process. While I'm cutting the rest of the cardstock, if you're finding this video helpful, definitely hit the like button, and also subscribe if you are interested in more tutorials that I have coming in the future. Okay, so finally my cover printed out, so beautiful and vibrant. And I am just going to load my mat and head back over to Cricut Design Space. So I've already printed, so I'm going to select that option. And I am going to select the same material to cut. So now the Cricut machine is reading the registration marks so that it cuts accurately. Now it's going to cut my image out. Okay, so I finally cut all the pieces with my Cricut, and we are going to proceed to assembling the card. Now I'm going to start off by folding my pieces. So what I'm doing first is I'm connecting both of my corners and making sure they are perfectly aligned. And then I'm bringing my thumb to the middle, and I am firmly pressing the edge so that I have a fold. And now I'm going to use my scraper tool to sharpen the crease. And I am going to repeat the same process with my outer piece, pressing down at the corners, bringing my thumb down to the middle and pressing down the edge, and coming in with my scraper tool to sharpen the crease. Now I am going to glue these two pieces together. I am making sure that it is perfectly aligned. So once I have it all lined up, I'm going to come in with my glue. I have one hand pressing down the paper so it doesn't slip off. I am using the glue with my other hand. And then I am carefully closing the card and I am firmly pressing down. Next, I'm going to flip my card over and I am going to glue down the other side. Now I am going to close the paper and press it firmly against each other. And then I am going to fold my card and press firmly along the edge. And now I'm going to set it to the side and let it dry. And proceed to assembling my heart pop-up. The first thing I'm doing is folding my hearts together. And the way I'm going to fold them is in a accordion or a zigzag-like style. So as you can see here, I am folding it down the middle. And then my hearts at the end are going to be folded in half, but folded the opposite direction. So as you can see, they are in a zigzag-like formation, and that's going to help us with the pop-up. And I'm just sharpening my creases with my scraper tool. And with my white hearts, I'm just going to simply fold them in half. Next, I'm going to take my white hearts and I'm going to glue them on the red hearts background. And now I am done with my pop-up. I'm going to now glue this onto my card. First thing I'm going to do is position my hearts where I want it to be. And while I am firmly holding my hearts on one side of the card, I'm going to hold that in place and come in with my glue. And I'm going to glue one side of it. While I have my heart in place, I'm going to firmly press the folder down. And as you can see, it is glued onto one side of the folder. And then I'm going to come in with my glue again and glue the other side. And then I'm going to repeat the process and close my card and press firmly against the heart. And as you can see, I have my pop-up. Isn't it cute? So now we're going to work on the cover. I wanted to have a pop-up effect. So to do that, I am using double-sided foam tape. So now I am applying the tape onto the back of my cover image. And now I am carefully placing my cover onto my card. And now we are finally done. I hope this video helped you. You don't even have to make Valentine's Day cards. You can do birthday cards, Mother's Day cards. It's endless. If this video helped you, definitely drop a like below and subscribe for more tutorials. Thank you for watching. Bye.